Welcome, grade nines. My apologies for this being so late. Um, I've been having such issues with my software on my laptop not wanting to record my screen, and my audio has been giving me quite a challenge. So I'm going to use my phone, which seems to be the only reliable thing at the moment in terms of my software. So, this is a brief introduction as to what is expected of you every time you write something, whether it be an essay, whether it be a transactional writing, such as a letter, a poem, whatever you might be requested to write. You follow this brief introduction. We would, throughout the year, go through more in detail how to specifically enhance your writing. But for now, just focus on this introduction and what you can use from this. So, whenever you're asked to do something for writing, you need to follow the writing process in that you need to do planning, a rough, and a final. So, your planning is generally a mind map, unless otherwise stated. Such as your summary writing, you had to do points. So sometimes it's not a mind map, but mostly for essay writing, it's a mind map. So you're going to first do a mind map and plan out. You can even do introduction, body, and conclusion, and then write points that you want to add in each. Or you can do the 3 body paragraphs and do that in your mind map alone. That's also okay. And so you would plan it first and then you would start writing. Like just start writing here. Don't worry about form, answering the question. That's what going back and editing is for. So yeah, you just start writing based on the points in your mind map. And you start putting in everything that you can think of that would sound like it belongs here or it's a good idea to put it here. And if you put that in and you sort of just start writing, it'll become so much easier to edit your rough draft and create a refined copy at the end. And it will severely boost your marks. So I suggest you just please don't skip this step. It is important. I know you don't want to write the same thing twice, but there's method within this madness. So please make sure you do edit in your rough draft. And then your final copy is the refined product. So this will generate most of your marks. So also don't forget the word count at the end because that also counts for marks. Right. So in brief, if you look at each one, so an introduction, right? Let's look at your essay now. Introduction, your body, and conclusion. So your introduction is a short summary of what you're going to say. And so when I read your introduction, I know exactly what your essay is going to be about and what your final goal is. There's no quotes in here, no rhetoric questions, and you must define the reason for what you are writing or what are you writing this for, such as the topic. So, for instance, here's an example of should homework be banned as a topic, and an example of an introduction is as follows. Homework was originally designed as a punishment, and this punishment has somehow managed to evolve into a teacher's best friend and a learner's worst nightmare. I am all for reviewing my learning, but it is said if you burn a candle at both ends, then there will be nothing left. When learners come back from school, we have other duties to attend to, such as basic chores, amongst other things, others being time for TLC, tender love and care, because your mental health is also important. So here I can see from this introduction, this perspective is against homework, and so they're agreeing with the statement that yes, homework should be banned, and they're explaining what more or less constitutes for this reasoning in that what is the purpose of homework. So you're going to discuss what is the purpose of homework. I can see that. And you're going to discuss how you should spend time on other things. And then if we look at our body, so now your body paragraph each of them must have their own theme. You cannot speak about 2 themes in one paragraph. And to make sure you stick to one theme, you start off with a topic sentence. I'll show you that in a minute. And then explanation and evidence, as well as a linking statement at the end. So in your body, you must, so for instance, my topic sentence here is your mental health is an important component to learning. So therefore, I know that this body paragraph is going to be about mental health and learning. Okay, then I go into an explanation and evidence. This is where you can put in your quotes, your research, and things like that. And you'd say here, studies show that if you are relaxed, you have a positive mental state, you can study up to 80% more efficiently. Therefore, if homework impedes your mental health, what worthwhile purpose does it really serve towards your studies? Right? And that's my explanation. Then I'm going to put in a linking sentence, which is if not homework, then what can be done to replace it? So I know my next paragraph is going to be on solutions to replacing homework. Remember, when you do an argumentative essay, you need to put problem and solution. Problem and solution. So yeah, I would start off my next body paragraph. A good replacement could be, and then I explain it. That's my topic sentence for the second paragraph, which is linked back to my linking sentence in my first paragraph. So, and I mean, if you're going through this, you can also pause the video and take notes as I'm going through it and then continue, or watch it a few times. It's up to you. Okay, so now the last part, which is the conclusion. A conclusion is a summary of what you've said. No new information should be here, and basically you're stating the lesson. So, remember when you used to read stories, and at the end of the story, they used to say, the lesson of the story is, and then that is sort of what the conclusion here is really about. So, no new information here, you're just ending things off. An example of that would be, thus, homework as a tool to reinforce elements in the classroom is a poor tool indeed. Putting aside its origins as a form of punishment, its greatest hindrance is to a student's learning and comes at a cost of their mental health. As much as GDP, gross domestic product, is important for a country, so is the GHI, which is the gross happiness index. If the populace is unhappy, then it cripples the productivity of staff and the economy, which goes against everything a school is aimed at. So I'm looking at the lesson, or really the main issue behind what I am writing, in that I'm debunking the feasibility of homework. Ironically, you are watching this as homework. I'm sorry. We'll call it enrichment. Okay, let's not label it homework. We'll call it enrichment. So yeah, I'm basically debunking the reasoning behind homework to show evidence that I just firstly disprove or disagree with the topic, that I agree with the topic, that homework should be banned, and then I give my reasons and I summarize. So it's basically an essay. With essay writing, the more you practice, the better you get at it. Okay, so with that, there's some homework, ironically. There's a practice exercise in which I wrote a very short essay. So it's write 100 to 200 word essay on whether the growth in technology is good for humanity's future. So here you have different elements of the topic. So when you are unpacking this essay, you need to look at the different elements. You need to look at growth of technology. What does that mean? What are we looking at growth in technology? Are we looking at robotics? Are we looking at how robotics might affect factories? Are we looking at AI and how it might impede jobs? So you look at the different elements of robotics, and then we're looking at just jobs, or are we looking at technology in general growing, such as I don't know if you guys watch the movie WALL-E. I love it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And there technology grew to a stage where humankind didn't even walk from place to place. We would just get transported with a wheelchair, and as a result, people's bone structures changed and they were unable to walk. So we devolved because technology evolved. So you can look at that elements, and then you can even look at humanity's future. You can look at the goods, you can look at the bad, you can look at both. So you don't have to look at both, you can only look at the bad, or you can only look at the good. But basically it's 100 to 200 words. I'm not looking for a hectic elaboration, just I want to see if you're able to follow the structure mentioned above. Okay, so unfortunately, yes, there's homework at the end of this video. And no, not as a punishment. It is for your future, I promise you. So all the best. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, you can take them up with me in class. And again, apologies for it being so late. I have had nightmares with software. I have basically done this video 3 times, let me just tell you. And each time there's been something different with the video importing or exporting. I don't know. The technological terms. But yeah. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. Any questions I will deal with in class. You can bring them to me in class. And also, please note that there will be more videos to follow regarding little specifics like looking at topics and stuff. But for now, just worry about this video and the introduction. Remember, I said I'd been a writing program. Writing program doesn't mean just one video. So there will be others throughout the course of this year, not this holiday. So don't stress, relax. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. I hope this break has been the mental break you really needed to improve your GHI.